Zachaboo Sneaker Reviews.
Welcome to the channel. My name is Zach. You can call me Zachaboo, and I'm here for you and any sneakers you might be curious about. No brand snobbing, no shaming whatsoever. Today's sneaker, I'll be honest, I'm not particularly a huge fan of, but I am a fan of the colorway, and that's because it's actually a collaboration with Quiccs, who's an artist from my country. And you know that I gotta support local. But anyway, this, my friends, is the Adidas Harden Volume 5 in the Manila Heritage colorway. One of the things I pride myself on when it comes to this channel is being honest about what I think of a shoe. If it's worth your money, if it's comfortable, yada yada, whatever, right? So in this case, it only makes sense for me to separate the performance features of the shoe from the discussion of the colorway.
The Adidas Harden Volume 5, in my personal opinion, is the least aesthetically pleasing shoe from the signature line of James Harden. Unlike previous iterations, there's not a whole lot of paneling. There's little to no premium materials, and even the overall construction has me wondering, what is going on for the Beard's signature line? I know they intended for this to be a very futuristic shoe, but in all honesty, it feels like they've taken a step back. Since we're on the topic, my favorite Harden is the Volume 1, and I've played in all of them except for this one since there's a pandemic currently going on and no games to be played, at least where I am. The upper is... let's just say it feels like something we would have found 10 years ago. Adidas says it's textile, it looks like ripstock. I want to say it is, but it's just really stiff. The whole thing is like a plastic shell, and then it's got these little felt sort of pieces all over. Kinda gives me blood cell vibes, if that makes sense. Underneath that, though, is another layer of fabric, not exactly an inner booty, but close enough. So at least that's there to make sure there's no chafing, and over in the back you got some nice padding for extra comfort, plus they're also textured like a cat's tongue for extra grip.
The cushion is interesting, but it's not exactly what I was expecting. You see, when the Harden Volume 5s were released to the public, it was stated that they had a light strike carrier with a boost midsole, and it's really not a boost midsole at all. Anyone who tells you that this thing feels boosty is probably upselling you on it. To put it simply, there's just a thin layer of boost slapped right on top of that light strike foam. And while it may not be the same amount of boost that you typically want from a Harden signature sneaker, it is still quite comfortable, but I'm guessing that's mostly because of the light strike. But just in case you don't believe me, then let me show you. See, this thing right here is the entire midsole of the Adidas Harden Volume 5. Yeah, it's a drop-in midsole, similar to the ones that you've seen on classic Kobe models like the Kobe 7, the Kobe 8, even the Kobe 9. And if I turn these things over, you can actually see that little spring plate which gives these guys more rigidity. Now, I have heard some people say go down half a size in these things, but for some reason, true to size worked well for me. I typically wear US 9.5 for Adidas basketball shoes, and it felt okay with me. I'm not gonna say that it was a perfect fit because there were a couple of issues, mostly having to do with the stiffness, so my heel kept on popping out a little bit, but it's nothing to be too concerned about if you're just going to wear these casually. Long story short, I can't do a performance review on these things, but I do believe that they are playable. Though it might need some break-in time, and I have heard some mixed reactions about the cushion as well as the traction. If you've experienced playing in these though, please leave in the comments down below exactly what your experience was. I'd love to hear about it, maybe share it with other people as well so they have a reference as well. But it's about that time, man, and I mentioned this earlier in the video, I really would love to focus on the colorway.
Dressed up in the colors of the Philippine flag, the Manila Heritage Harden Volume 5, designed by Quiccs, is a nice nod to the love of basketball that Filipinos are known for. You have a mostly white upper with patches of blue that extend to the tongue, spots of red that's also found on the collar, and a few hits of yellow to top it off. All around the shoe you'll find tiny details such as the logo of Quiccs, the area code of the Philippines, and of course you gotta have the signature athlete's, well, signature. Itty bitty detail right there on the insole, and if you look at that translucent outsole, you'll actually find a robot James Harden, as illustrated again by Filipino artist Quiccs.
Overall, I do think it's a nice, subtle nod to Philippine heritage. Not an overkill in any way, but I do wish that Adidas would give Quiccs a better canvas to really go crazy with his creativity, maybe play around with some paneling, some materials, layering, and all of that good stuff. And that's actually what his current collaboration with the Three Stripes is doing right now. So yeah, I will feature that shoe, talking about the Forum lows, in the next video, but as for the Harden Volume 5s, the bottom line is, if you're going to use it for casual use because of this colorway, you can go ahead and do that. They're comfortable enough, okay? But if you're going to take any Harden Volume 5 onto the court, you might be looking at some break in time, and I have heard that the traction can be a little inconsistent at times. But yeah, I will be leaving links down below in the description box to some performance reviews made by other content creators, just so you guys also have a point of reference. And also because basketball isn't legal yet where I am, so I can't provide you with a performance review right now. But hey, if you found this video helpful in making a decision about these guys right here, or if you just appreciate the content in general, then by all means, please hit that thumbs up button because it really helps me out a lot. Consider subscribing if you're new to the channel. Enable post notifications and share my videos with your friends so we can get a nice community going and, you know, hopefully some more giveaways, which reminds me, I will make sure to leave the instructions in the description box as well. That's going to be for our current giveaway. Right now it's only going to be for people who are in the Philippines, preferably in Metro Manila, but I'm going to try to make sure that everything's fair anyway, okay? My name is Zach. You can call me Zachaboo. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.